Hard hitting sports in your face. You see the title, and there's really not much for else for me to say. But I wanted to put my voice on camera, and I wanted to make this video. And I want to make this video very out front. Making it, I like to come back to my predictions and have a look at them after everything has happened. I like listening to see how wrong I was, how right I was. I've hit on a lot of things. I've missed on some things. It happens. But let me say this, and let me say this very frankly. And I want to make no mistake. I want you to be able to make no mistake with what I'm about to say. Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, needs to walk out of the 2018 NFL draft with a starting quarterback. Let me repeat this again. Adam Gase, the quarterback, the coach. Sorry, I don't know why the fuck I want to call this man a quarterback. Adam Gase, the coach of the Miami Dolphins, must walk out of the 2018 NFL draft with a starting quarterback. This cannot be left up to chance. There has to be a plan in place for Ryan Tannehill. See, Ryan Tannehill has missed 19 games. Of course, he injured himself in the Cardinal game, and then he went down again in preseason. So he's missed 19 games. You are an organization that is strapped for cash. Your damn salary cap is trash. See, if you had $100 million under your salary cap, like some of these other teams, let's say you got $70 million in cap room. You don't got a lot of players, and there's a lot of things that need to happen, right? It might be more understandable. But when you look at the salary cap situation in Miami right now, that does not speak to a 6-10 football team. 6-10 football team with this little cap space is unacceptable. Unacceptable. But Isaiah, he lost his starting quarterback. I understand that. And that is the reason why good teams have options. The perfect example. The New England Patriots. When they lost Tom Brady, what did they have? They had a starting quarterback ready to step in and take off, and they didn't miss a beat. They drafted him with the second-round pick. They just traded him to the 49ers. Got back the same pick they get. I don't know. I don't understand it. But they did. You must have a starting. I don't give a shit. The answer cannot be Jay Cutler. That is a question mark. The answer cannot be Jay Cutler. If the answer is throw it to the other team, Jay, it's nice knowing you, Adam Gase. It's nice knowing you. I'm telling you right now, if this team goes 5-11, 6-10 next year, we will be looking. This coach will either go into 2019 on the hot seat, or he will be fired. The same fucking way Philbin was. I'm telling you right now. This is a QB-driven league. It is. This is a QB-driven league. Look at the playoffs. Just step back and have a look at the playoffs. It's a QB-driven league, man. And if we don't have a good quarterback, we're going nowhere. The answer cannot just be Tannehill. Listen, if you want to, all right, Tannehill is your guy. I'm okay with that. Tannehill shows some improvement in the deep ball. I'm okay with that. Deep ball accuracy stepped up. I'm okay with that. But the simple fact of the matter is at this point right now, Tannehill has not played a game in 19 games. And we see what we have behind him. We can clearly fucking see that Matt Moore is not the answer. Doherty, that motherfucker's on the practice squad. Fuck him. He's not even in the equation. And Fales is not a starting quarterback. This year's offense was abysmal. The definition of insanity is to do the same things over and over and over again and hope for a different result. If we go into the 2018 season with Tannehill and Moore as the backup quarterback, that is insane. That is stupid retarded. That makes no sense. There is not a bigger need. I heard people tell, we have bigger needs. What is a bigger need than quarterback? There's not a bigger need than quarterback, man. It's not. People making excuses to me, and I just point them. I just point them to examples. Examples of things that have happened. I'm telling you right now, we need to draft a starting quarterback. Put them in competition. Let them duke it out. If Tannehill wins, and you know what? Even that, I can't trust Adam Gase. I know I see these silly ass people talking about trust Gase and trust Gase that and trust Gase this. Listen, man, do you not understand that Gase had Kenyon Drake on the punt? He was the gunner on the punt team. I need you to understand this. There's some silly shit that he does. So we had to get rid of one running back in order to use another running back, because that makes perfect sense. Other teams are able to use all of their running backs. James White got used. LeGarrette Blount got used. The other guy, I forget the little small scat back that they had, the other dude, he got used. He stayed hurt, but he got used. They used all of their backs. And we couldn't do that? We couldn't have a 1-2 punch? It's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's water under the fucking bridge. This right here has the potential to send our head coach up the river. Telling you right now, it is a must. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You have to walk out of this draft with a guy who's ready to start. I don't know if it's first round, second round, third round. The deeper you go in the draft, the worse are your chances. Now, I'm not saying that you can't find a starting quarterback in the fourth round. Dak Prescott was a fourth round draft pick. You can find that guy. But I'm telling you, a starting quarterback has to come out of this draft. You cannot walk into the 2018 season with Ryan Tannehill and Matt Moore. That is retarded. That makes no sense. And fails. Because what we will do is fail. That's a recipe for 5-11. I would. That's like having. How can I put the analogy? What would be a good analogy? I don't even know how to put it. I was going to use a car analogy, but nah. The offensive line that we had this year protected pretty well. I saw one game out of all the games in the season where the offensive line didn't protect well, and that was the Patriot game. This offensive line shut Joey Bosa down. Joey Bosa didn't do shit. Ingram didn't do shit. Khalil Mack didn't do shit until James went out. When James went out, that's when Khalil Mack got a sack. Until James went out, Khalil Mack didn't do a damn thing. James shut him down. James was having a fantastic season until he got hurt. Now, if James is truly gone and you're not going to re-sign James, then you have a tackle problem. I do feel like the guards on this team need addressing, but I don't think that's something that you necessarily have to do with a first-round draft pick. I would like to have Billy Price, who can play both center and guard. That wouldn't be a bad pick in the second round. I would like to have another big receiver. I would like to have a tight end. As I said in my mock drafts, big receiver, because when Devontae Parker goes down, we're so small. Our biggest receiver is Kenny Stills, and he's only 6'1" at that point. Jarvis Landry's 5'11", and Jakeem Grant is like 5'5". So all of the big throws to go up and get them throws, we have nobody to get those. So we need to have somebody big, because we know that motherfucking Devontae Parker is Humpty Dumpty. We know that shit. He's fragile than a goddamn egg. He's always falling, goddammit, and we always having to get all of the king's men to help put his ass back together again. He is Humpty Dumpty. We know this shit. He's a goddamn fragile egg, and you know I'm right. And that's why it pisses me off. It pisses me off so fucking bad that we drafted that man over Marcus Peters. But again, it's water under the bridge now. It's water under the bridge now. And just for you people with fucked up memories, let me remind you this. When we drafted Devontae Parker, there was one guy that was screaming no. There was one man who was sitting here saying no to Devontae Parker. That guy was me. Do you remember?
Interesting.
Or do I need to refresh your memory? Hold on. Let me refresh your memory. Check. Yeah. I'm also the guy that thought we should have went heavy on defense last year, which we did. This year, I think it should be more of a mixed draft. I think wide receiver, other than, and you know what though, we're gonna get Ford back. So I don't know. Let me take a look at Ford. We're gonna get Ford back at receiver, and he was looking kind of promising. And Isaiah Ford is 6'2", so that's an option. I don't know how, like, health wise, but he's a big receiver. He's 6'2", 6'3", so that could be an option right there. We might not have to go wide receiver. We might not have to draft a wide receiver, depending on how Ford does and how he comes out. You know what I mean? But I just don't want to be left with Devontae Parker as the only big receiver, and then you go and you get a good tight end. Andrews, that kid from Wisconsin. There's another kid, I think he's from UTEP. No more hand-me-downs, dog. I don't want my brother's pants that the motherfucker done wore for like 15 years, man. Them shits got stains on them, mustard on them. I don't want that shit. Quit giving me hand-me-downs. Let's get our young stud tight end to put as much around Tannehill as possible. Give him as many weapons as possible. Give him Jarvis. I mean, Jarvis Landry should be re-signed. Bring Landry back. He had his best season as a pro. Kenny Stills had a little bit of a down season. I expected him to do better. But as soon as Cutler walked through the door, I expected everybody's numbers to drop. I was expecting 12 touchdowns from Stills and at least 10 touchdowns from Parker. But when Cutler walked through the door, I expected 5 touchdowns from the other team. Like, man, fuck out of here. You give us Jay the interception, man. Get your fuck out of here. And I had jokers like swearing me down, bro. When I said 4 wins, I had jokers on my Facebook page. No, man, there's no way we're gonna win less than 10 games. I can't find them jokers now. I'm surprised. Fuck out of here. Would throw it to the other team, Jay. Anyway. But yeah, man. My mock drafts are on my Facebook page. So if you guys want to check those out, you're welcome to them. I did 2 mock drafts. Actually, I can show them to you. Let me show you what my 2 mock drafts look like. Here are my 2 mock drafts. And actually, I did a third one. I did a third mock draft. And in my third mock draft, I actually traded away the first round pick in my third mock draft. And all right, so this is my second mock draft. My second mock draft gives us Roquan Smith, the linebacker from Georgia. Good in pass coverage, solid tackler. So a lot of people raving about him yesterday. I see people saying that he's not going to be at 12. That's what they said about Foster. That's what they said about Tunsil. They've been saying that same crazy shit for 3 years now. Shut up. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. He could get a video leaked about him with a bong in his hand. If someone has a picture of him with a bong, please leak that shit. No, but seriously, he could get a picture or a video leaked about a bong. He could be in a prostitute scandal. You just don't know. So, yeah. If you know where his dorm is, leak that shit. No, seriously. The quarterback I got, which is second round quarterback, his name is Drew Lock. Big arm, fill it up. The only thing that I don't like about him is that he is below 60% completion ratio. I don't like that. I also don't like the fact that every single snap that I seen from him was in the shotgun, which leads to questions about reading the complete field. That's a problem. The tight end is Troy Formagli. I hope I'm saying his name right. That's a tight end. That's my tight end. And then I went with some guys. Jester Yi Wei is a big 6'3" wide receiver. Casey Tucker gives us a tackle. Philip Lindsay is a little small running back. I've had him on every single mock draft. I like him. I like how many carries he got at Oklahoma. He's a speed guy. Coleman Shelton gives us a center. And this is the type of guy, Yoshinowa Nawasu. That's the type of guy that Jacksonville Jaguars grabbed in like the 3rd round, and he ends up being a standout defensive end and getting sacks. Same type of mold. So I want to go to my other draft. This is the other one. I would say this is draft 2A, because I didn't make this official to nobody, but this is my draft 2A. I got Billy Price. I traded with Dallas, right? I traded down out of the pick. I got the 19th pick. I got Billy Price, the center guard, that fills that hole. I got, for my 2nd round pick, I got Baker Mayfield, the quarterback. I ended up getting 2 twos. So I got Baker Mayfield, the quarterback from Oklahoma. I got Deshaun Hand, the defensive end from Alabama. I got Dallas Goedert, the tight end from South Dakota State. Then I got Jester Wee, Dietrich Nichols, Dorian O'Daniel, who is a small linebacker. He's a tweener, but he's very good in pass coverage. I got David Moore, the defensive end from Boise. I got a free safety, and I got a guard. And then, of course, if it was up to me, I would supplement this draft with good. I would supplement this draft with good free agency. The free agents, as far as linebackers are concerned, that I've seen is trash. It's nowhere near as decent as it was last year when you had Brown, who didn't even get picked up until the end. I don't see anything in this free. I don't see anything as far as quarterbacks. I don't see anything as far as linebackers. There's a few offensive linemen that jump off the page, but it's a pretty weak free agency to me. Now, this was my first mock draft. This is the first mock draft I had. I got Lamar Jackson, the quarterback from Louisville. He has some good things about him. He has some bad things about him. He can make plays with his feet. Once again, he's down in the 50s as far as completion ratio. He puts up a lot of touchdowns with his feet, which is in slay ball, it's going to be a little bit exaggerated because he's probably a better athlete than most players in slay ball. Billy Price jumps in at guard center. Mark Andrews gives you the tight end. Jeff Holland gives you, and the reason why I'm taking a defensive end is because Cam Wake is old, and I don't think Andre Branch is the answer. That's why you keep seeing that. Darius Leonard is my linebacker. Casey Tucker gives me another tackle. Philip Lindsay, that's that same name, and Dorian O'Daniel. So I got 2 linebackers who are good in pass coverage. Dorian O'Daniel is a small linebacker, but he's good in coverage. And then Philip Lindsay, the little small running back, to pair with Kenyon Drake out of the backfield. So, but yeah, man, I'm being kind of long-winded today. But yeah, man, we've got to, quarterback has got to be addressed, and it's got to be a starter. How do you make your mock draft with you not watching Slay Ball? What I like to do is I take opinions from a lot of different people online. Like I have friends who do tune into it, and they kind of send people my way. There's another, like I have people like the guys who I do, the guys who Cameron Brake is gonna be a free agent. He would be a steal. Holy shit. Yes. If Cameron Brate is a free agent and we get that guy, then that solves the tight end issue right there. But what is he going to want? That's going to be the question. They have the OC from the Bears visiting right now, which is a that means that, let's say he takes over the play calling from Adam Gase. That would put Ryan Tannehill in yet another system. I don't really like that idea. I don't necessarily like the idea. And I know people hate how Gase calls football games and hates his play calling, but putting Ryan Tannehill in yet another system, I don't know. I don't know what the similarities would be between him and Gase, but yeah, Gase is not giving up the play calling. Yeah. Jimmy Graham is a free agent. No. No more old guys, man. Baker is another. Manziel, I don't know. 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 71 completion ratio. I don't know what Johnny Manziel did, but I mean, Johnny Manziel went to the Browns. You can't tell shit about the Browns. I mean, it's the Browns. Everybody fails at the Browns. Who doesn't fail going to the Browns? You think we need another corner? No. It's like this. If I can get a lockdown one side of the field cornerback, I'm inclined to take him. Like if I went to this draft and Jalen Ramsey fell to me, I'm taking him. No, whether I need him or not, I'm taking him. Because if I can lock down one side of your field, because let's say we got Howard on one side and we got Jalen Ramsey on the other side. We good. We good right there for the next 5 to 6 years. We ain't got to worry about corner. Now we can focus on every place else. And then Jalen Ramsey is a guy who we could have taken and moved to safety if we wanted to. So if I can get a lockdown cornerback, I got to go with him. I got to take him because those guys are so hard to find. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to make this video and put my voice on camera, man. Tweet this video to Adam Gase. I don't know if he got a Facebook page. Get us a quarterback. Malcolm Butler has been roasted all year long. I don't want that guy. There's a reason why the Patriots are letting him go. Carson Palmer just retired. I see the Cards trading up to get either Jackson or Mayfield. They may. It's a lot of QB. See, this is why those two wins are so fucking stupid. Because they put us those 2 wins put us behind teams that need quarterbacks. So let's say we wanted a Josh Allen or Mayfield. It's going to be 4 teams ahead of us that need quarterbacks. I don't think the Browns are going to take a quarterback, by the way. And I don't think they should. I think they should continue to groom Kaiser. I don't see how you take a quarterback in the 2nd round and then turn around and take another one in the 1st round. You're setting yourself up for failure. What they need to do is go ahead and get themselves a running back and maybe replace Joe Thomas. If I was the coach, that's what I would do. Josh Allen may be available to us. That guy reminds me of Carson Wentz. Big, strong, running a pro-style offense. His numbers don't jump off the page, but when you watch film on him, he's got a cannon. He can make all the throws. He's got decent mobility, and he's taking plays from under the center. He's one of the few quarterbacks that I've watched film on that are actually taking plays from under center, and you're watching him read the field. That is very rare in slave ball. See, this is why I don't like slave ball. Imagine you go get training to be a doctor, right? For 5 years, for 3 years, you're trained to be a doctor. And then once you are actually a doctor, you're doing some completely different shit. You get trained to be a cop, right? And then once you get to actually be a cop, you do something completely different. That's what they do in the fucking in slave ball. Tim Tebow did not get trained to be an NFL quarterback. He got trained to win Urban Meyer games in Florida. And then once he came to the NFL, they had to try to retrain 3 years of bullshit that I hate. That doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. They actually hurt players more than they help them. If Lamar's sitting at 12, do we take him, or is that too high? It depends. It all depends. I need to see combine. I need to see more tape. I like Lamar, but he's thin. He's 6'3". He's thin. You do kind of run that RG3 type shit, even though he didn't. I don't remember him having injuries or anything like that. But we'll see, man. We can't have a quarterback we can't have another injury-prone quarterback. That's why I think Mayfield is a little bit better of a prospect, because he's lower to the ground. He's more compact. He's going to be more suitable for taking hits in the NFL, whereas Lamar is a little bit thin. And sometimes those thin quarterbacks run into problems, whether we're talking about Marcus Mariota, who's had injury issues, or RG3, who's had injury issues. Those kind of thinner guys tend to have more issues, whereas Russell Wilson, you know, he's built like a tank because he has that low center of gravity. So anyway, guys, follow me on Twitter. We will be talking NFL playoffs. I don't know when the next time we're gonna have we'll probably have a Fan Voices podcast. It just won't be about the Dolphins. It'll be more geared towards the playoffs and talking about the playoffs. It's Mason Rudolph too high to draft at 12. I've heard him in the second round. I like him too. As a big fucking guy who's kind of built like Ben Roethlisberger. I just hope he's not like the other guy that we thought was going to be Ben Roethlisberger, guy that plays in Jacksonville. Anyway, man, I will talk to you guys next time. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter @Casual @KASUWELL. Fins up. I'm out of here. Peace.